Okay. It looks like it's firing on every candle here. Now these scans, these plots, they're picking up a different action. They're picking up the very top of the move. So this would have been a triple top, and so on. There's a nice triple top before it drops off. A triple top and then another double top. Where we can actually call this a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Or you could call it a inverse cup and handle, because here's the finishing of the cup and here's the handle bouncing out, and there's the bounce up from the handle up, and that was what would have been expected from that. Okay, and then here's another mini shoulder, a mini head, so we'll probably do another shoulder. Of course, we're looking at ride right now. I didn't even know what I was looking at. I just threw this on the thing. Let's throw BBY on there. But yeah, I was just, wow, it seems like I've got this thing nearly firing on every single candle. And it does. So if I wanted, I could go in and tell it, do my custom buy orders. And what I would do is, let's see, BBY. It's $19, so, and it did just hit a bottom scan, so boop boop, which is good, a double bottom, that could be good. And we did just get a up arrow here. This was a couple bars ago, this was last week. Looks like we did hit another bottom. This right here is a good sign. So, let's go in here and create an order. And what we'll do is we're going to reference this reversal study. And it says reversal study DMI stochastic. Let's see if that is exactly what it is, but that's how we'll have to reference it. Let's see what we're using here. Okay. Okay, this isn't necessarily my... Okay, and here is my my shorting option here, but they are hash marked out. Okay, so this right here is going to give me my buy auto and my sell to close. So we could do buy to open or buy auto. This is just for reference of the, say, the strategy side. We have to have, all of this put into code on the study side. So we can go through and find any of these studies that we like. We can pick them apart and we can turn them into a strategy. We can see how that strategy would play out with our P&L. Then we can use that built strategy, and we can either pipe that whole strategy that maybe we've built, added some custom code to, pipe that back over into the studies by creating a new study, with the code, and we can use it like that. And then when we go in to do our buy and sells, what we have to reference is order 1 and order 2. So, and we can change those. So if order 1 is, accurate, we can change that to open or whatever if we want, or to close. And we can do order 2, sell to close, sell to open, sell auto. Okay? And what we'll do is we'll reference those. And we'll do, if order 1 is true, then it will buy. And if order 2 is true, it will sell. And we may even want to have a stop on that, so we might even do a custom with an OCO bracket, and that's where we could pipe in order 1, order 2, and if we even wanted to put in this particular system and order 3, if you come in here and go into your strategies, and you can go right down here into, now this daily range system is a really, really awesome piece of code that I was able to find. But this is custom. This does not come with thinkorswim. And it shows you some really, really awesome things. It shows you boxes, nearly boxes right around. So it gives you your own little volatility box, for each candle, almost each period. So, that's interesting information, but not necessarily the most interesting applying to what we're doing here. But, if we go into our studies or our, strategies, let's see if we can find our Donchian channels here. And anything, see EMA Mobo, anything that doesn't have a lock on it. If it has a lock on it, that's thinkorswim's, that's their code. If it doesn't have a lock on it, that's, my code. And if it has this little thing on it, it means they're not going to share the code at all, and you may only reference it. So you may reference the code if you wanted to, say, use this particular, source code isn't available, but you can reference everything. So if you wanted to use this and say up arrow, pattern arrow, blah, 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 and, say buy signal equals this Fisher down arrow, you could build a code like that and still reference what you want. So they still even give you certain options, but you have to know what you want to say and how you want to code it. And if you don't code it right, of course it won't work right. So let's go over here to our strategies, and I'll show you what I mean. Now let's pull open this piece, and we can go right down here to the bottom, and we can see all of these order types. Okay, now all of these order types, if we were to pull these up, let's pull up this strategy here. We'll just add it here, and we'll get rid of the current strategy. Okay, and we'll hit apply. Alright, now let's back out. That way we can see what we're looking at. And, alright, so the market's about to open. It's 9 a.m. Okay, and we've got some things happening. Okay, now these Donchian channels also look like a little bit of a Darvis box breakout, type of thing. So, and now what we can do is go in here and click on our little gear icon, and now we can see here are all of the orders. There's the long, short, LX, SX. There's your ATR long, so that'd be your long stop, and this would be your short stop. Okay, so this is your long stop loss, your short stop loss. Okay, all of this is piped right in here for you to use, and as you can see, it is a profitable strategy. Just this Donchian channel strategy. If you were to go in and pipe it in correctly on a 4-hour time chart, it did lose some money on this downtrend here. I mean, they don't always make money. That's what the coding comes in for. We try to avoid that, and also we will be manually maintaining our code. We don't want to set it to buy auto and sell auto. That will wreck you, fool. So, okay. But as you can see, these arrows here, if you like where these arrows plot on a particular stock, and let's just look here. We're on BBY. Let's go to Workhorse. It plots all the way up, plots up, does great, and then when the market's sideways, it does nothing. That is incredible. We want that. We don't want to get in that choppy action, okay? So that's a really great thing. Okay, once again, okay, it dropped a little P&L there, but had a loss, but then boom, ran up. Every time it has a nice run up, and it has a couple little tricks. It took 4 bad trades right here in a row, and we have to be prepared for things like that, which is why we don't want to overextend our account. We need to be prepared for at least 10 trades in a row if we're going to be taking, but anyway, we'll talk about that, statistics and probability, in another video. But right now what we're looking at with Workhorse, and I have charted out, is this big giant cup and handle action, okay? So what we had here is this big cup, okay, or shoulder, head, shoulder, and it had a nice top on it. Okay, I like to call these tulips, though, because of the, how the old traders talk about it. All right, now this gives you the cup and handle, all right? And if all of this were gone, you would see, okay, it treads up, comes down, exposes the handle, and it looks like this is the way it's going to go. Bloop, 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 bloop. But it hit a bottom here. Ping, it hit a bottom, so it bounced. What did it do? It still stayed in this trend line, though. Okay, it was rejected. It's trying to follow the high side of that. Well, what did it do? It followed the high side of that and fell off some more. But it did have a pullback. So maybe let's look back for another pull-off, okay? You know, I don't believe this is the rest of the handle. That is not done. This is not the handle. Of course, it could blow out and go up that way, which is typical of a pattern like this. So right now, we would want to come in and we would want to set an alert. We would want to know if it went above, okay? So we're going to come over here. We're going to create alert, all right? And we want to know when this, you know, stock, you know, the mark, you know, we want to know when it's at or above, okay? Then we'll hit create, okay? And now we want to know if it's going to blow out below this. And really what I want to know is, because we can see what's going to happen, it's going to pull down, pull down, pull down, and then pull back up. And that's the action we want. So let's look for it to drop past, you know, this 1951 area. Okay. And we'll say at or below. Okay, and create. Maybe I didn't even do that correctly, but I don't have plans of trading Workhorse today. Plantair. Now this is one that's got some good, it had some good action, it's got some good consolidation. I'd like to pipe in some of my other stuff and find out if it's, yeah, you know, if it's considered trending up or sideways. But anyway, I'm seeing sideways action because the Donchian channels are not catching anything. Okay, now if we went down to a smaller time frame, so you went to a, you know, 5-day, 15-minute time frame, how does it do? It still does okay, catches some trades, catches some money. You know, not as much, but it still stays out of the market in that sideways action. So we could use this strategy just the way as it lays on certain stocks. You know, here's Walmart, and it looks like it does the doo-doo on the Walmart right now. Not good at all. Ooh, Nelly. All right, so let's go back to our 4-hour 180 day. Okay, now I happen to know, okay, here we go, Lowe's. All right, Lowe's likes some Donchian channels. Lowe's likes its traders. Okay, Baba. Let's see what Baba's got. Okay, Baba's got some good trades happening right now. When it hits upwards action, actually, let's see, that's a downwards market right now, and it caught upwards plays. That's interesting. That's a very interesting divergence. Okay, you know, for it to catch these plays and see what it was doing, it actually caught the short. It did. It caught the short. Okay, and then it bought it back. So it made the money. It knew what to do. You know, can we adjust this and make it a little bit more accurate? Of course we can. Do we want to? I don't know. There are other strategies. Tons of them. You know, all of these. Bollinger Bands. Here's just the long strategy. Here's just the short strategy. Come in here, look at the code. You get the long. Get your buy auto. It, you know, has it all set up for you. So what you would do is you would go into your, you know, your study, and you would say, you know, conditional based study, and when condition, you know, triggers true, buy and sell. And if that's a study that you liked, you would use it. So let's go down here, and I have all of these strategies here that I've built that are unnamed, except for this one. This one is the new auto bot on extended hours. And we've got some nice things happening here. And it's not really anything special to brag about, so we can't really throw it out there. But I think it does do okay. So let's see what we've got on a 4-hour time chart, and it is terrible. Okay, but that could just be that stock. Ruh-roh. Looks like we got a bad bot. Either that or it's a short strategy. It's got to be a short bot because it's only going negative P&L, and I got the feeling that It's very possible. So let's see how we have that set up in here. What's going on? Define buy, define sell. Okay, define buy and buy now. Buy signal equals buy signal and stop buy. Okay, so... Alright. I see. Okay. So it's really set up to do much, much more than that. And I just haven't finished working on it. I see where I left off. Okay. I have not completed the workings of that, but it looks like it's more than likely a short strategy. But if we wanted, we could come in here, order 1, order 2, or we come in here to our inputs. We would have to go in and change some things around inside that code to make it viable for trading. But okay, now let's look at something here. Now here's an HA Colt strategy, and I don't really prefer this strategy because we can see this right here, and you know, this is interesting, this is neat, you know, but it gives a lot of false signals. So I came over and I found my own, you know, I found my own, well, anyway, I made my own. But we have to come over here and look at that particular indicator. Okay, where, come on now. There we go. Let's look at that indicator. And we see that the code is slightly different than what we just saw. Okay, now all of this is the code that makes up that indicator, declare lower. It's going to show up on the bottom. So we're going to take it and we're going to use it. So we're going to add it, you know, here. We'll get rid of this, and we'll get rid of this, and we'll get rid of this, and we'll get rid of this. Okay, we'll hit apply. All right, now what we have here is an indicator that is showing us trend. And we can see that when this trend hits the bottom and bounces back up, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And then when it drops, okay, it's going to shake a little, try to shake you off, okay? You miss the entry halfway through here when it changes over, okay, but then you get a little bit of the move, and then the move is gone. Okay, so that's a little premature there, okay? But you can get excellent signals off of this particular indicator. So look here. When it finally switches over, it tells you there's the low. It sees the low, you've hit it. Okay, now you've hit the low and we start to see a recovery. And if we had moving averages on the screen, we would also see that. But I don't want to confuse too many people, so we're just going to put, yeah, you know, something simple up there. All right, something simple everyone can understand. Everyone can understand red, gray, and green. Red is a, you know, obvious short or a don't buy, and when it turns green, that means, you know, buy it. So, and on this basis here, we can make a good bit of money. And it looks like this is on JNUG, okay? You know, randomly on JNUG, okay? So, this is a very good little indicator. And it works well for identifying these longer-term trends, and it takes a lot of this whipsaw action out of it. You know, what it really catches is when the trend finally reverses, okay? And I really like that. That it's excellent information, okay? So what we'll look for is, you know, we'll watch this. Oh, did you see that? That line just disappeared. Did you see it? It just disappeared. Oh, man, you tricky. Wow, I bet people have thought that line was there, but we really need that candle to open and close before that line happens. But if that line happens, it's going to go for a run, which means price is going to go up, and on lows, I may actually want to buy that today. So we'll see how that happens on the further out time frames. Let's check on the 90 and see we're already about finished that move. So we'll be expecting that move to drop. Is about what's going to be happening next. So yes, on the 5-minute time frame, that move is over. Okay. McDonald's. Okay. But we might be seeing an up move there with McDonald's today. Okay, but now with this indicator, what I have done, we come down here, and we get, where is it? Okay, now all of these are different indicators I've pulled offline. Some of them I've made myself. Some of them I've altered myself, and of course there are ones that I've downloaded. The ones I've downloaded, they all say shared. Okay, and you will find those at tosindicators.com. I recommend going over there and, grabbing what you can and playing with, everything. Because there's plenty of stuff to keep you busy. Okay. So let's come over here to our sets and see if we can find maybe
Ocean Spray works with nature every day to keep you healthy. 2.5 men is shaking things up. Realize what this means? By moving to happy hour.
You're the expert, Charlie. Is it too early to start drinking?
the DMA bot, the Darvis strategy bot. If anybody's interested in that Darvis strategy bot I'm working on, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to make a video on that one. The Darvis box, he took $35,000 and turned it into $2 million or something. That was a very interesting story. Okay, so we've got the Hacolt bot. Okay, let's add that, and we'll hit apply. Okay. Now, oh, it blinked. Here we go. Alright, now look at the accuracy of this bot, even on a 5-minute time frame. Now, on a 4-hour time frame, it catches that buy right here. Okay? Runs it all the way up, and boom, drops it off. Buys back in, runs it up, boom, drops it off. I mean, that is incredible. Yes, it has a little friction here. It doesn't always win on everywhere, but it does manage to find itself out of trouble. And if we were to go in and reverse those positions so it would take short, everywhere that there's a blank space right here would be filled with positive. Okay? That would also be increased P&L. So this one here does well on multiple stocks and on multiple time frames. And it gives me some excellent signals. So I think overall, among this one, there will be a few others that I'll be taking my signals from. I've overlaid them with a shaft trend cycle. And of course, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I use the Arun, and we use it well. We also use moving averages. We need to use those moving averages in reference to the numbers of the Fibonacci retracement, or retractment, however. And the reason why is because those numbers are of significance, and if you pipe them into moving averages, you don't need to constantly be plotting them on your charts, okay? Because you'll have to come in, you'll take the Fibonacci, and you'll click the button, and then you'll retract it down, and you'll see these averages, or you'll come in and you'll come to your strategies, and you'll come in and you'll do something like this, and you'll hit apply. And now you've got a nice Fibonacci band with moving averages that's plotted, two different ones, the fast one and a slow one. And when they seem to cross each other and get bullish, they get really bullish. And, these numbers aren't just pulled out of thin air. They're pulled out of statistics and probability, common knowledge. And, eventually once something is done so much, it's you know, come to be practice, and so now it's common practice for traders to trade off of these numbers. Look at that. Look at how it just touched the bottom of the cloud and bounced. That's not, you know, exactly. So it breaks the cloud and it just keeps on going. Now there are other of these strategies, but this is just an example of how you can plot your Fibonacci to make bands, you know, and moving averages instead of having the big retracement on your screen. You can use it virtually a little bit better this way. And if we took only our signals from, say, you know, correlating with if, you know, the HA cold is up and, you know, it's breaking above both of these, you know, price breaks above both the fast and slow moving Fibonacci, you know, anyhow, then it would buy, and it would buy here, and that would give us a little bit more assurance, and we would sell when it breaks through, when price breaks through the first one or even the second, anyhow. And we could even get possibly better signals. We would get less of them, but we could possibly know that those signals are worth more money. And by doing so, we can filter out more of that whipsawing action, and we'll be able to, you know, possibly even double down. You know, well, when you see it on a large scale start to move, you know, hey, you can load the boat and it's okay. Or no, it's, you know, it's trading within the cloud, it's not ready yet. Or it just fell below the cloud, and the fast moving average just fell below the slow moving average, and price is trading below that as well, as it is here, 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 and about to be here. So BBY is maybe short. But anyhow, so looking at that, we can see that that is what happens. And we would say take more aggressive trades. Or you could stick to the same trading style. It's all speculative. It's all what you can trade. But that's how you're gonna, you know, start to get things set up. You know, some knowledge you need to have to start trading like this. You know, your automated trading setups. You know, I think I named that one. Let's see. Okay, this is a super trend code. Okay, and as we can see, once price lifts off this zero line, it really takes off. And this is done with the Elliott oscillator. We can use the Awesome oscillator as well, but it also has super trend in the background, catching every high and low. So now we know there's a high, we know there's a low, we know what's going to happen next. We know, you know, if they're, you know, what goes up must come down. So when it goes up, it must come down. When it goes down, it must go up. When it goes up, it must go down. When it goes down, it must go up, and so on and so forth. So what is our next move? Okay, it might be close, but it's going to be close by, and then it might be up or down. So let's see. But I mean, that looks like a, you know, there's some little action here. It's not displaying it, but you know, the action is down right now. We're in a downtrend, and looks overextended here. So, you know, we're probably going to go down. Okay, and look, see, it did. It goes down, 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 down. You know, I didn't know that was going to happen. I just kind of, you know, went with what I saw was about to happen, and it did. You know, you're here with me while I'm making the video. I didn't look at that first. So, you know, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay. It'd be really neat if it would show the red here, you know, so you could see the selling pressure. That would be awesome. But anyway, yeah, just another type of, you know, way to view the information, something that I'm working on. Yeah, many different types of things to look at.
No logos, no gimmicks.
So
Just those red and blue bags with the stuff you loved in it. Man, you know the brand.
let's
It's a
go
3-sided
for
finish. I had you trade your buddies for it. They packed a pack at lunch. No logo.
the easy
No
read it.
names on the tip of your tongue.
What's the
Chicken
easy
crumbs
read
when
it?
the bag is done. On that cheesy, spicy,
Okay.
crispy crunch
Well, this looks like we're using, you know, a zero line and above and below 50%. So above would be bullish and below would be bearish. All right. And then we're also using the momentum here to indicate the same thing. So if we're below and we're below, I would say it's a bearish, you know, sentiment. And we're, you know, this is just buying back, still bearish, buying back, you know, still bearish. Okay, now we're going bullish, going bullish, going bullish, taking some profit, you know, going bullish. Okay, so let's see. Well, that is not what I ended up getting either. Let's use this one. Okay, now this one here tells you if it's above or below the 300 moving average. It also gives you a buy signal when it hits a bottom and comes out of it, okay? And it gives it to you on a 60 candle period. So you get the signal, okay? There's the signal. There's your buy. If the line's up, you are in the money, okay? So, you know, you need to buy the dip, literally. And that's all you're doing here is buying the dip and riding the trend. And we're taking all of our information off of the signals above the 300 EMA, striking a green candle on the, you know, smaller moving average. Love it. Love it. Looks like Gush just might be gushing today. We might see a little pullback here and then boom. All right, that would be excellent. I would love to see that. Of course, yeah, we'll probably see a nice little pullback and then boom. Of course, it might pull back all the way to here. You know, as it has been known to before. You know, use this line as a support. Okay. eBay. Okay. There's a signal. There's a signal. There's a signal. Okay. Now, if we go in, let's go in here. Adaptive EMA and the 300. Okay. Cancel. Alright, well the arrows have got to be coming from this 300 EMA. So, you know, that's where the arrows are lying. You know, they're within that code. So, we can reference these arrows in another code, or pull them out of the code, reference them as a scan, as I've done here with other snippets of code, and then we can reference these in our studies as our buy and sell signals. So what we'll do is, you know, if, you know, this signal is equal to true, you know, which this is when it's true, right here, we will buy, and we'll run it all the way until it's not true, okay, right here.